Yeah, so one of the other things I wanted to ask you about was around proximity bias that we know comes into play. How does that play out? The kind of how do we ensure fairness and transparency when we've got kind of hybrid teams, people in the office, people not in the office, people we see all the time, people we don't? What advice have you got for people around this sharing?
Because people get lost, don't they, in the system? They just, their work doesn't get seen or noticed, does it?
It's a real danger. And there was one word missing from your last statement, Gary, because you said people get lost. The word I would add there is can. People can get lost in the system. And that's about intentionality. If you leave it to chance, if you don't do anything about it, people can lost. People won't lost if the manager knows what to do and designs the work of the team and designs the interrelationship between the team in the right way so that that doesn't happen. And the point you're making, for example, is a valid one because, for example, we're all co-located in the same office and I'm your manager. One of you does a great piece of work. I can see it, hear it. I can smile at you. I can nod, I can say something because the prompt for me to do that is very close to me, in real close proximity to me. But when you're remote, how do I know that you've done a good piece of work? How do I know that there's something worth noticing and commenting on? So going back to Danny's points about proximity bias, that's where it can come into play because you rely as a manager sometimes on the visual cues, the audible cues as well, to tell you when to do the things that as a manager you should do without anybody prompting you to do. Praise people, recognize people, acknowledge people. When they're remote, there might need to be a bit more of an explicit prompt for that to happen. And people might need to work out loud in ways that are not just verbal, are digital as well, that then showcases what they're doing day in, day out to whoever needs to see that. It's also unfair for them to be funneled through the manager. They become a bottleneck for that type of stuff. So the manager's got to work to develop that culture of recognition and appreciation across the team so that those things can happen without the manager necessarily A, being involved or B, possibly even being aware.